Are you in serious need of money or hard stuck in early game? Well, if so, then this video is for you. Today, I'm going to be explaining some techniques and strategies that I use to make as much money as possible and how I got to 1 billion coins. I'm going to be explaining some of the money making methods that I personally use and also how you can find some money making methods that might suit you. So as always with most of my video, this video is going to be split into two main parts. The first is going to be the actual money making methods themselves that I use to get to 1 billion coins, and I'm also going to be helping you find money making methods, or maybe flips that you can use to get to 1 billion coins. And instead of other YouTubers who are maybe going to tell you what flips they actually used, I'm going to be telling you how you can actually find flips, because that's probably going to be more useful in terms of how you can make a unique flip that's going to make you tons and tons of money. The second part of the video is going to be a little bit different to the first part, in that I'm going to be explaining the kind of mindset that's most optimal to making the most money, and ultimately this is also going to help you find the most enjoyment in the game and help you have the most fun as well. Or that's at least what I think. Just before the video starts, I'd just like to ask you to take a quick second of your time just to scroll down and hit the subscribe button, because if you enjoyed it, it would really help me out, and yeah, I really appreciate it. Also, if you'd like, totally optional, but you can join the Discord if you want. We host 10 million coin giveaways all the time on there, and if you want a chance to win some free money, then links in the description. And in the future on our Discord, I hope to be making some unique and cool stuff, like maybe adding like a dungeon finder. We can find some, actually competent dungeon teammates. But yeah, that's still work in progress. So anyways, without further ado, let's go make some money. So for the first part of the video, I'm going to be talking about how you can find flips or unique flips that's going to make you tons and tons of money, and hopefully ones that aren't also going to run out either. So just to give you an example of flips that can actually work quite often, it's stuff like in collections. For instance, if I go to mining collection, go to obsidian for instance, I can see that you can craft what is called a true capitator, and if you didn't know, this is an essential tool to be able to forage most efficiently. Naturally, if you want to be able to forage and you don't have the obsidian collection, you're going to have to go in the auction house and buy it for yourself. So what you can do is you can just go craft this from the bazaar, sell it in the auction house, and quite often you can make like a 300 to 400k profit every single time you do this. To give some more examples, fishing collections are often really good, because most people who want to buy gear for fishing don't actually have the fishing collections because they can't get it yet. So to give an example, salmon armor. Salmon armor is incredibly easy to craft at only 2.5k salmon collection, and surprisingly you can buy these salmon for around 40k, and on the AH sometimes you can sell it the whole set for around 200,000 coins, which means you spend 40,000 coins and you're getting 160,000 coins profit, which is just crazy if you think about it, especially for early game. Well, if you're wondering, well, Gronky, I'm not interested in making 100k profit. I want to make millions per flip. And that's what I'm going to tell you. This applies to much more endgame items too. I know a couple of friends and guildmates who have some flips as well, which make loads and loads of money. Of course I'm not going to spoil it for them, but for instance, I'm just going to go through one very common one that I found that gave me a lot of success. And that was actually crafting Juju shortbows. You just buy order the obsidian, the quartz, the null spheres, everything. If a Juju shortbow was selling on the auction house for around 20 mil, there's a good chance you could craft it for around 17 to 18 mil, meaning for around a 2 million coin profit every single time you did this. Unfortunately now, you can see that the Juju shortbow prices are, a bit lacking. But really, it's just flips like that are just going to make you so much money. And what I encourage you to do to be able to find your own flips is to just go in collections, just go look through some random collections such like fishing, and you go prism crystals. Is there anything cool in there? And you might think, oh, okay, there's nothing cool. And you just go through all the collections, and soon enough, you'll find a pretty decent flip, I'm sure. On the topic of flipping, another really good point that I want to mention is using the forge. The forge is an incredibly powerful tool because it's like bazaar flipping. You make an order, you go offline, you get the materials, and then you sell it on the auction house. Except you get the materials, you craft it in the forge, or forge it, more like, and then sell it on the auction house, and usually you can make an even bigger profit. For instance, the thing that I really like to do is gemstone mixtures. As you can see, I can usually craft them for around 3.6 to 3.8 million coins and then sell them on the auction house for 5.1 or 5.2 million coins, something around that, which is a pretty decent profit. And if you're really early game, then you can use things like refined mithril, refined titanium and power crystals and stuff like that. What I'm trying to say is that there's a flip and a forge for everyone, and it doesn't really matter what stage of the game that you're in. So now I've gone through flipping, I want to just go through finding some more money making methods that you might potentially want to use. Now I want to make the most important point first. If you want to try and find a money making method, you should try and just do the things that you most enjoy doing in Skyblock that make a somewhat okay amount of money. For instance, use skill based stuff. If you really enjoy farming, then you're going to make a lot of money farming because you do most farming, so if you do a lot of hours, you're just going to be making a lot of money. Likewise, if you really like mining, then you should do mining or powder grinding or whatever you want to do. In general, I'm a big advocate for playing Skyblock the way you want to play it, and you shouldn't play it, or you shouldn't play Skyblock a certain way. For instance, you shouldn't just say, oh, I want to do F7 dungeons because my friend told me it's the best for money. Because ultimately, you're just going to get burnt out and, you're not really going to enjoy it. The conclusion, to find the money making method that you probably enjoy the most doing, then you should just do what you might find, the skill you find most fun, or maybe you really enjoyed flipping because it's just fun, or like auction flipping because it's actually quite fun just being completely luck based and completely just a flip of a coin. Or maybe you just enjoy making more consistent profit while mining, and you quite like just be able to mine or just listen to like a podcast or a TV show or whatever. Or if you love dungeons, maybe run some master mode or try out some frag running. So after you found a reliable and consistent money making method that you enjoy, the next thing I'm going to be talking about is, in my opinion, the most optimal mindset for making the most money on Skyblock. Now don't get me wrong, you should obviously just play when you want to and when you feel like it. I'm not saying that you should force yourself to play Skyblock, because that's obviously what goes against what I've been saying the whole time, which is we're playing for fun. But in my opinion, if you want to make the most money and want to get the most enjoyment, for me at least, it's much more optimal to play every day, but even just like 15 minutes, just make some flips, collect your minions, get your interest and do stuff like that, and play for 10 minutes each day for 6 days, rather than just spend one day and playing an hour long. For me, the reason I enjoy just making some flips and just going offline overnight and then just put some stuff in the forge, for me it works really well because I'm able to just log on every day, maybe even like every 12 hours, just for like even 5 minutes and just refresh those flips, and every time I make like 3 million coins. So clearly, logging in for like 10 minutes each day and making 3 million coins is going to be a lot better than just logging in for one day and then maybe making only like 10 million coins an hour if you're really good at that money making method. The next, all I'm going to be going through is just some investments and long-term investments that are really going to help pay off and overall just help you get to a billion coins probably a bit quicker. The first thing, easily for me, is minions. Now I know a lot of you guys probably think of me as a big clay minion guy, but I know full well that clay minions are pretty trash money. They make around 50k each day with super compact and diamond spreading, and compared to that slime minion over day, he's making around 160k every day. However, taking the time to invest the time and money into minions like these are still going to earn you around over 1 million coins each day, which still at the end of the day is a respectable amount. And I've mentioned minions on the channel before, so I don't want to rabbit on about it, but in my opinion, the earlier that you can get a decent minion setup down, the bigger W it is. Now there's another reason why I strongly suggest the mindset of logging on for like 5 minutes each day as opposed to play like 1 day a week for an hour, and that's because of bank interest and coin allowance. The community shop's also pretty huge in terms of making some solid money, because coin allowance is really good, then also the minion slots, and these are completely free by the way, like 5 minion slots are free. So basically every day when I log on, I get around 250k coins, because I always leave 35 million here, and I always leave 4 million coins in here to help me make some extra money. And every day you log on, you make around 2 to 3 million coins, and trust me, you're going to be making so much money, and when you do log on to play that hour or two of Skyblock, then you're just going to have a lot more money at your fingertips, and it's just going to be a lot more fun. And you're going to be able to hit that big billion coins and get that sweet, sweet Hyperion. Although actually that's a lie, because the Wither Skull prices are actually just so stupid right now. And that's probably going to wrap up this video. If you found this video at all helpful or useful, then please consider subscribing and join the Discord. Anyways, thank you so much for watching to the end, and good luck making some serious cash.